So after the results of the Milgram experiment, I've now chosen my 4 subjects that will go forward for the heist.
Phil was impressively resourceful when he was caught stealing sweets, and held in his anguish during the Milgram than Defy the Scientist. I did want to include a woman in the group. Jen was the only subject to take a long time to recover after the Milgram experiment, so I felt I shouldn't use her. Veronica didn't steal from the shop, so that left Vicky. Of all the subjects, she was the only one to have known the original Milgram experiment and call a halt to her involvement in it.
Can I just say, I can't do this because I've heard of this experiment before.
So I think she'll be quite interesting to use, although I don't know if she'll actually take the bait or not.
Ali stole most from the shop, seems to be highly responsive, most outgoing, and seemed most happy to continue the experiment until he was stopped.
Well, shouldn't it have made more notches on the thing?
I'm sorry.
Danny stopped the experiment, but in such an outspoken way that I suspected he would have real strength of character to bring out.
It's not even reacting anymore.
So this now brings them all up to yesterday afternoon, and there are a couple more pieces of the jigsaw puzzle I need to put into place. The motivated state in itself isn't quite enough, so I need to turn it a little more aggressive for them, but without ringing any alarm bells.
So I have them create a feeling of aggression and attach it to the trigger of a squeezed fist.
And you take hold of it in that hand and you anchor it to that feeling of that hand just there, squeezing as you take all that aggression. As you move that around and around inside of you, as it doubles and triples and moves around inside of you, building up that feeling of...
Then I have them trigger off the motivated state by rubbing the leg at the same time to combine both states together.
You are linking these powerfully and inextricably together. Good. And just...
They try this a couple of times and are now able to tap into a darker state, and they still feel this is entirely for their benefit.
This is your most powerful state that you as a human being can achieve. That's what it does. That's what the music does. That's what the words do. That's what that green intensity does. All of those things that are triggering this off, that's what you get. How's that?
Mental.
Good.
Before the heist itself, one last piece of the puzzle. They need to believe they have it within them to overpower a security guard and to know what to say and how to say it without thinking about it. So without ever mentioning security guards, I teach them an esoteric martial arts exercise where a person can be pushed over using the power of chi.
You two are going to find yourself being pushed over, knocked backwards, being forced off your feet.
This will serve as a powerful experience for them, a resource for them to draw from tomorrow when they come across our security guard in the city.
Vicky and Phil, what you're going to do is, when I tell you to, you're going to start to create that state inside of yourself, and you build it to a peak. When you reach that peak, the only instruction I want you to give are just the words down on the floor. Just those words alone. They're going to carry the full weight of that emotional state that's behind it. Okay, just do it now. Just get into that state. Just start to build it up inside of you now. When you feel it peak, just say those words down on the floor now, that's all you say, and you keep it focused and you push those two back. Danny and Ali, try not to let it push you over. Keep pushing back against it. Just pushing.
Down on the floor.
Now, of course, it's not chi or energy at all. In reality, the person expecting to fall over succumbs to the suggestion and topples off balance. But the people apparently pushing come to believe that they have a powerful and invincible state to tap into.
Down on the floor.
That's what I want them to believe.
I felt very tense. It was almost as if I could physically push him without actually touching him.
Saying down on the floor was like passing the energy across. Like throwing something at them.
What I felt was just this sort of invisible energy, it just sort of crashed against my chest.
You followed every aspect of the persuasion process from the last couple of weeks. A certain phrase, a certain colour, a certain piece of music have been used to induce a state of wanton recklessness and aggression and a just-do-it attitude. Other factors also support the process.
The titles on the screen and the language used at the seminar. The supposedly subliminal CDs which left them feeling malleable. The toy plastic gun which romanticizes the idea of a criminal. The green security van. The animosity felt towards a security man in a green uniform already, who happened to be wearing the same badge as our guard in the street. Finally, the oil painting of a security van hidden on the wall at the seminar.
Can you feel it? Tell me, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Woo! Can you see what's going down? You feel it in your bones. Can you feel it?
Everything should now be in place.